Your thoughts on the inspiration the Knicks are providing for all the fellow Knick Jet fans out there? Because if the Knicks can do this, so can the New York Jets. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, maybe not this year, but let's temper our expectations a little bit. Maybe not this year,
Well,
but
you saw the announcement over the weekend from the Jets about Glenn, right?
I'm not sure what you're
He
referring.
got to cover a bet in this year.
Oh yeah, Eric Glenn. Breaking news. I was gonna put on there, don't let go of the rope and hashtag.
Don't let go of the rope edition.
Don't let go of the rope. Damn it, I should have put that. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, this is the year for Glenn, man. This is it. In all seriousness, I'm really curious what he's going to do with this defense. I think he's in a very unique situation with all these players that can play in a lot of different roles. We obviously know David Bailey could play that traditional edge role. You can put him a little bit on the inside too in pass rushing situations. Why not? If you know they're not running the ball, that's an opportunity for him. Osai, Enigbari, Onyemata, they can play a little bit around that front seven. You can twist and turn them in a lot of different ways too post snap. I'm curious what they're going to do. DeMario's very good as an inside linebacker that can play a little off ball and blitz a bit. I think you need to start doing that kind of thing with Sherwood too. And some of these corners, you can have them flying off the edge too a bit. So I'd be interested. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do with that defense. I'm curious how aggressive he's going to be, because if you kind of go to what Aaron Glenn wanted to do initially in Detroit, and he was doing it, he was very aggressive, sending a lot of man blitz packages. And then once Detroit was averaging 30 plus points a game, you don't need to be that aggressive anymore. Then you could sort of play a little bit off, play a more conservative style, more of a bend but don't break sort of defense. So I don't think we really got a sense of what kind of DC he is. This year we'll really get a sense of, are you really a top tier defensive coach in football? Because Jake, out of everything that we've said about Aaron Glenn, we've critiqued him as a leader, we've critiqued him as a CEO, as a game manager, as a time manager. What can he do as a defensive coordinator? That's what I want to see, because we saw what the guy in Seattle did, Mike McDonald, and what he was able to do to call those defensive plays that literally, got them a Super Bowl ring. And he's the first guy to really do it in that way. I mean, when's the last time a defensive, coach calling plays won a Super Bowl? So this is an opportunity for Glenn to show who he is, show what kind of chops he has. And this is, and for him, from his camp, for his, on his personal end, if he's not going to be here with the Jets, this is also what he's going to put on tape for opportunities moving forward. So this is a big year for him, professionally too.
Frankie, this is actual big time breaking news to hit.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Moments ago, a judge in district court in Lubbock County, Texas, has granted the injunction by Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby. He is set to be eligible for the 2026 season. So Sorsby, somehow, some way, is playing college football for Texas Tech this season. He will not be in the NFL's supplemental draft. So take Sorsby off the draft board for the Jets in the supplemental draft. If Brendan Sorsby is a New York Jet, it won't be until the 2027 NFL draft.
That is shocking news. I did not see that coming. What judge did they get to his camp before that injunction?
I got to be a Red Raider alum.
There's a duffel bag that was dropped off somewhere. Good for him. For his sake, this is the best scenario. I was thinking about this Sorsby situation over the weekend, Jake. I don't think he would have even been ready to go into an NFL locker room with all this stuff he's having to deal with. This is a good situation for him. Now, they're probably going to suspend him. I'm sure. We'll see how many games he gets. But, yeah, this is shocking, man. I did not see this coming. I was telling Ryan and some others, Nick, I don't see, any sort of appeal being upheld. And obviously, here you go. I mean, this is This is wild, man.
I mean, this is a big surprise.
It is.
I don't know how he was able to get an injunction. I don't know all the details of this. It just came out. I'll keep checking. Pete Thamel, his X account. He covers college football for ESPN. He was the first I saw. Let me just pull up Pete's timeline here because he's got some tweets on this. So we'll go through this together in real time. But if you're just joining us, big news involving the Jets because of their connection, of course, to Sorsby. He is going to be eligible for college football this year. So some way, somehow, he's playing ball. Here's more from Thamel's X account. Let me pull that up here, and we will showcase it. Judge rules that Sorsby would suffer a probable, imminent, and irreparable injury. Okay. Next tweet.
Wait, what? Sorry, that went over my head.
The judge rules that Sorsby would suffer a probable, imminent, and irreparable injury. I don't know exactly what that means, but then Thamel goes, from the ruling, the NCAA cannot prevent Texas Tech quarterback Sorsby from practicing, playing, or otherwise participating on Texas Tech's football team for the 2026 season. I mean, this kind of opens the floodgates up for people to be betting on college sports. I don't know exactly how all this came together. Brendan Sorsby cannot play in Texas Tech's first two games, which was the penalty his legal team suggested to the NCAA. Tech opens with Alabama Christian and then travels to Oregon State, number 5 below. Not participating in game day activities in the first two games of the Texas Tech. Wow. So
it's good for him, man.
What a unbelievable job by his legal team. He's missing just 2 games, and one of them is against a slapdick program to open the year.
Totally.
I mean, this is about as good as it gets if you're a Texas Tech fan hoping to see Brendan Sorsby quarterback your team this year.
Totally, man. And I think this also shows the power of NIL. When you have sponsors, when you have businesses that are directly involved in Texas Tech that have put up money for Texas Tech to be able to afford players like Brendan Sorsby, money talks. And I'm sure behind the scenes, there was a lot of lobbying going on, not in the government sense, but in the business sense with Sorsby to stay. I'm curious. Yeah, his legal team definitely painted a picture that, yes, he had a gambling issue. It's not that bad. He didn't affect the integrity of the game. And he's going through counseling, etc. So, yeah, good for them, man. I mean, this is better for Brendan Sorsby because let's just be honest here. There were people suggesting a team like the Jets putting a second-round pick on him. I mean, come on. Like, he hasn't even put together a full, really good year to be, to warrant a second-round pick. He's got the tools. Now he's got to put it together. And I think we'll see how he fares there. It's a big opportunity for him. Got all the tools, man. We've spoken about on your show. Big kid, can move, good arm. When he's accurate, he's very accurate. When he's not, he's all over the place. Similar prospect to Drew Aller. We were talking about that on Gangs with actually Will Parkinson jumped on. Similar prospect to Drew Aller to me in a lot of ways. This is the year, though, where he could propel himself from 4th rounder, 3rd rounder to late 1st, early 2nd rounder.
Connor Rogers weighed in. I'm pretty shocked by this. And by the way, congrats to Connor on the birth of his son with his lovely wife. Congrats to them. Pretty shocked by this. But from a draft perspective, Sorsby has legit first-round caliber tools, currently blended with 4th-round tape. Being able to play and develop in college football this year is the best thing for him and the depth of the quarterback class for 2027. I mean, look, this is good from the Jet perspective, I think, big picture. Because I think there was too much uncertainty with the Jets' current coaching situation to add Sorsby for any sort of notable pick in this year's supplemental draft. But now you throw Sorsby back into college football. Let's say he has a big season. You want as many quarterbacks available to the Jets as humanly possible. We don't want this past year where it was just Mendoza and then no one else really emerged as a consensus clear top 10 pick. There was even big debate on Ty Simpson, even though we ended up going 13. He's not going to play in a perfect world for at least a year, if not two. Next year, we hope it's way different. There's plenty of quarterbacks for the Jets to choose from. And I'm glad that Sorsby is going to be going back to school with an opportunity to really improve his draft stock. As you see, Connor there says he's got legit first-round caliber tools.
Yeah, Jake, let me read you off a list of quarterbacks that could be in this 2027 draft. And honestly, if you look at someone like Ty Simpson, you might rank him behind all these guys I'm going to name, right? So let's go through it. CJ Bailey, 1, CJ Carr, 2, Trinidad Chambers, 3, Jaden Maeva, 4, Arch Manning, 5, Darian Mensah, 6, who's going to Miami, Drew Mestamaker, 7, Dante Moore, 8, Julian Sayin, 9, and Lenoris Sellers, 10. You can make an argument. I wouldn't. I'd have Ty Simpson somewhere in that like 6 to 8 range right there. But Ty Simpson, some people would rank him outside of the top 10 in terms of traits and attributes compared to those guys I just named. And that's not even considering, the best of the rest. So, Jaden Craig is an interesting name. Nico from UCLA. I mean, like DJ Lagway, some people I like Sam Levitt a ton. Mateer's going to be available. Mateer might come out. Like, dude, this next quarterback class, and I'm not just saying this to say it. I think it's actually pretty factual if you look at the body of work of these guys. I don't think there's been a deeper quarterback class in maybe the last 15 years than what we have coming into this college football season. I really don't, Jake. With this NIL stuff, guys going from mid programs to top tier programs with more talent and with the attributes they're bringing it to the table. This year's going to be one of the best overall, I think, quarterback classes from 1 to 20 that we've seen. I really believe that, man. This list just gets deeper and deeper. The other day I'm at like quarterback 22. I'm like, this guy could have been quarterback 4 this year, if he had a decent enough year. That's the kind of, because you look at the quarterbacks in this year's class, Jake. We're talking about guys like Trinidad Chambers that were going to be quarterback 3 out of this class going in the second round. Like, I don't know, man. It's a good year to find a quarterback, but there's also a lot of options. So we'll see what kind of chops Muji and those scouts have to identify the right player, assuming they don't pick 1-1 and there's like a clear guy there.
I mean, no team is better set up to get their long-term answer at the quarterback spot than the New York Jets. So now it's on Darren Muji to identify that guy and find a way to navigate the draft board if necessary to get that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like there's people talking about, Dante Moore again. He's getting a lot of buzz in like college football circles. Like there's people predicting that he'll be the clear cut 1-1. If Arch comes out, he'll be in that conversation. I mean, you have a few. Julian Sayin is going to have a huge year at Ohio State. So say, you might like him, you might not. It reminds me a little bit of like a younger Chad Pennington in a weird way. But yeah, I mean, that kid's going to light it up this year, Julian Sayin. He's going to throw for almost 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He just is in that offense. So it's going to be an interesting year, man. It's going to be fun. If you're not into college football, I would suggest if the Jets aren't keeping you too interested throughout the season, turn on a college football game, and I think it's going to be a really fun year. And the new game's coming out soon too. Apparently, it's a good game. That's what I've heard. It's better than Madden, people say. I don't know if that's true, but
ESPN's Rich Cimini weighs in. So no supplemental draft for Sorsby, as I expressed on the Jets Collective. It wouldn't have been a wise investment for the Jets. Wait until the 27 draft to get the quarterback. I agree with my co-host on the Jets Collective. I will let everyone know, by the way, when the next live episode of the Collective will be this week. The Jets have an open OTA for the media on Wednesday this upcoming week. So because of that, we'll probably be live on Thursday, because I doubt BT and Rich are going to want to go live during Game 4 of the NBA Finals. And I know for a fact I am not going live during Game 4 of the NBA Finals.
Do your show from Magic Hour.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
The Jake Asman Show is now presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy app made simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players' projections and build your lineup in seconds. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And PrizePicks is already offering NFL futures, including futures for New York Jets players. Take a look at the lineup that you see on the screen. Garrett Wilson, more than 4.5 reception touchdowns. David Bailey, he's going to have at least 7 sacks his rookie year. Arvell Reese, almost a Jet. I think he'll have at least 3 sacks in his rookie year with the Giants. That is a 3-pick power play, $10 to pay out $60. That is just an example of some of the lineups you can make over at PrizePicks. Make your own lineups today for any sport. Just download the PrizePicks app, use the code HMA, and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Let's put it up on the screen. You sent out a tweet that said, here are 3 players that I think will be better than most think, and here are 3 players that are worse than most think. Let's do the better than most think first. Everyone sees it there on the screen. Number 1 is Jamien Sherwood. Why do you think Jamien Sherwood will be better than most think?
Well, I want to preface this that this is nearly a perfect list. If anyone had to come up with 3 and 3, this is pretty much perfect. So I just want to mention that before I start. Yeah, so Jamien Sherwood, like I've said, Steve Wilks, I think, is most to blame as to why that Jets defense was out of position all year. If you take that aside, we're not calling the right coverages at the right time. We're not sending the right pressures when we're supposed to or at the wrong time. Linebackers we're all over the place. We saw Jamien running one way and guys are leaking the other. Quincy didn't know where he was half the time, or that'd be actually a compliment, probably 70% of the time. I just saw what Jamien Sherwood's done over the last couple of years, including even at times last year. Jake, 154 tackles. You can't slouch on that considering his age. Even PFF gave him an 81 run grade. I hate going by stats all the time, but I'm not going to take him being out of position on specifically in coverage throughout the year. And the way that defensive line was just all over the place in terms of run gap assignments. I don't think last year was a good indication of who Jamien Sherwood is. There was a reason he was a team MVP the year before last. He's going to get back to form, I think, especially with DeMario Davis there. I feel very confident in Jamien Sherwood. I think we're going to look back and say, you know what, this guy's not someone that we're looking to trade, which I'm starting to see a lot of Jet fans sort of jump on that bandwagon that they'd like to trade Jamien Sherwood. We did pay him a bit. We paid him a little bit more than we should have for sure, but hey, that happens.
I think he could be better than what he was last year, but I don't know if he's going to recapture the magic of 2024, if you will.
Why not?
I don't think he's a great fit.
Okay. I mean, listen, it's tough to say now. We have to see, I think, what Glenn's going to do with him.
And tackles doesn't mean the guy was good. Like, someone's got to get the tackles.
You're right. But watching him last year, I just think as fans, we react to moments that make a player look really bad, that are really bad. And there were moments last year that there were replays that Jamien looked awful. And I think we put that a little bit too much on we highlight those things a little bit too much. We put the microscope on those moments a bit too much. If you really just take the year in totality, it wasn't as bad as moments they were showing last year where he's running in one direction, literally, or moving in one direction in coverage, and a tight end literally going across his face, catching, a 10-yard, drag route and taking it for 40 yards. Like, yeah, that was on him, obviously, or the defensive strategy, but I just think we put the microscope on him a bit too much last year. I mean, who overperformed on that defense outside of Jawan Briggs? So I don't know, man. We'll see. I mean, if Jamien Sherwood doesn't have a decent year with DeMario or doesn't look good with him, then maybe you're right. But I think Jamien's going to have a really good year, man. I do.
Number 2 on your list, Braylon Allen. Now, Braylon Allen is great in June. He's great in July. It's great in August. It's a lot of potential with him, though. I'm glad that he's back out there. He looks good, looks healthy. But why do you think he'll be better than most think? Like, what are your expectations for Braylon Allen?
Well, I loved Braylon Allen coming out of the draft. So out of Wisconsin, I was a big fan of his. So I've liked him, pre being a Jet. I just don't think he's gotten the opportunity yet, obviously, to be a second back or a 1B. I just don't think he's gotten the carries yet to prove what he can actually do. I think if you look at one thing specifically in his game that I really like is his vision. I think he does a really good job setting up his blockers and his block to be able to one cut, and he has more speed than people give him credit for to really hit those home runs. Couple that with his ability to just keep trucking and break tackles and never allow the first defender to bring him down. I just think there's something there that's untapped, and he just unfortunately, due to injury last year, and I'm looking now, he had 92 carries in his rookie season, which isn't enough to really get a good gauge on someone. I think he'll and he had 22 first downs, by the way, out of those 92 carries, which is a good number there. I think there's something there with Braylon Allen. I think they're going to use him too a bit more. I think Frank Reich likes those kind of two back sets. He's always used sort of two running backs. And I think Braylon will have his shot this year to be that, Montgomery to Brees's Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think it'll be that even, but something like that I think they'll flirt with.
Malachi Moore, what do you expect from him?
You said that like, are you serious with that?
I'm just this just screams the greatness of Frankie V providing a take on Malachi Moore in June. I love it. What do you got?
All right, ready? This is what I got. Ready? This is based on one thing only. I'm gonna get hate for this, but when you're a rookie, this is where this comes from. Ready? And this is an awful opinion of mine, but I don't care because this is how my brain works sometimes. He's a rookie. He had 101 tackles as a rookie in a bad defense. That, to me, shows that he's got something. Sorry, that's it. And I liked him out of Bama. I did.
Does he start? Who are the starting safeties?
I think he'll start. I think it'll be him and Minka, I think, are going to be the starters. Who else is going to start?
Dane Belton?
I mean, I think he'll be the third, but I just think Malachi Moore... Listen, Malachi Moore did not have good. If I'm joking a little bit about the stat stuff, but Malachi Moore didn't have great film last year, but he was out of position. He did string together a few really good games that you're looking at him closing in on backs specifically and screaming from the second level. That and he forced, I think, that fumble that the kid out of Tennessee recovered. There's something there with Malachi Moore. I don't think it's right yet that people are like, oh, he is, I don't want to say a bust, but he's not going to start on this team. He was a 4th round pick. You have over 100 tackles. You forced that fumble, and he recovered one last year also. I don't know if there's something there. Again, this is me speculating based on the fact that I thought Steve Wilkes was an awful defensive coordinator last year. Like, literally, as he's so bad he got fired with a month left to go in the season. I mean, that just tells you everything right there. So I just think there's something there with talent with Malachi Moore.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.